Hello everyone, ObiVanDamme here and welcome back to Lords and Villeins. The world update just got released a couple of minutes, hours, I don't know, ago. And I would like to give you a quick overview over what's new. So welcome to everything new with the world update in Lords and Villeins. And we will start with the most important feature of all, which is there are now pets, more specifically cats. Look at that. You click on them and they are happy. And they even purr. And you can do this all day. Cute, right? There are also dogs, but I haven't found them yet. That's it. That's the most important feature. Thank you for watching. That's it. The devs nailed it. We are done. No, I'm just kidding. Please don't unsubscribe because of that pun. I'm really, really sorry. Let's talk about gameplay. So, most important feature is we now have the inn. You can see that the place is always filled basically. Every time you look at it, it's filled. It's the first new zone that you have. You can place a bedroom over here. You can place tables and chairs, basically everything you also put into a household, with one addition, which is the bar over here. So you can see the bar counter. There are currently 40 normal meals stored. That's because the innkeeper will sell food and also drinks, which you can see are stored over here in the beer barrels. They will sell this to the villagers if they are not able to cook food or get food for themselves. So that means if you set up an inn in the beginning of the game, it doesn't need to be that big. That's the I think that's almost the recommended size, but it doesn't need to be that big. You can just set it up with one kitchen and a bar over here, and then you can basically use that as a central cooking location. So you don't need to set up cauldron, cooking tables, shelves, wooden blocks, firewood, wells for every single family. You can just use the inn for that. That also means that newly arriving villagers that will now always be guests in your inn instead of just randomly popping up will have a place to sleep, as you can see, and also a place to eat. So no more sleeping on the ground for the first couple of nights until something is set up and handing out free meals until they can cook. That's now all handled by the inn, which is by far the most amazing zone in the game so far, in my opinion. It also solves some other issues because, as you can see, if I hit the tab key, the inn is currently run by the farmer family. And there is no dedicated innkeeper profession for the inn, so every family can run it. And that means that every family can earn some money running the inn, because everyone that's sleeping in here and everyone that's eating here has to pay for it. That's why there is so much money in the inn right from the start. Every new... that's basically it. If you have a family that cannot work properly because they are lacking ingredients, they just can't find enough people to sell their stuff to, like you have a miller but you don't have a baker yet, you can just make them run the inn. And they will get money, they will earn some money, and you have one problem less to care for. And the final thing the inn does is it is the first way for your town in total to actually earn money, because travelers that will come by and stay at the inn will pay for food and for shelter, and after they are gone, you can keep the money. So the total money pool of your village can now actually increase. And with that, we'll come to the second gameplay change. The traveling salesman has been implemented. The caravan zone looks like that. It only needs a storefront and a special type of ground storage, which is the caravan storage. I think the caravan will be stored in here. And then you will get some... There you go. Caravan arrived. Let's just go there and look at it. Here we go. That's a caravan. So they are going to come, like, well, caravan is doing. and they will sell stuff to your villagers, which is the first opportunity for your village in total to lose money. So make sure you always produce enough goods to sell to the caravan and not just buy from them. Otherwise, your families will most likely at some point run out of money. So let's see what they brought with them. They brought a bow, clothes, fine clothes, steel shield, cabbages, bronze and gold ingots, cape ropes, leather shoes, drawstring boots and high string boots. So they bring lots of fancy stuff with them that most people want to buy, which means you can run out of money pretty quickly if you are not careful. The Caravaneers will also stay at the inn, so they will leave some money in your village as well. Yeah. That's basically it for the Caravaneers. Not only will they bring in the stuff that you just saw, sometimes they also will bring in stuff that you need for, I don't know, that you might not be able to create for yourself. And they will also buy stuff that maybe no one at the moment is able to sell. So for example, if you have a miller that produces flour but you don't have a baker yet to buy the flour, he has the opportunity to sell it to the Caravaneer. So you can fulfill or you can close some production loops that without the Caravaneer would just be open and someone will not have a trading partner. So that's a really nice addition. Keep in mind that this guy over here is or has some potential to make the game too easy, because you no longer it is easier for you to have all the families supplied with everything they want without actually producing it yourself, and you can basically accept more families to do stuff that you don't need yet because you can just sell to the Caravaneers. So keep that in mind, that this is this will interfere with the closed loop inside your village. Okay, what else do we have? We have one additional new zone that I haven't built yet, which is the hunting zone. So you can see over here the hunting area. You can just designate an area for hunting. That's a bit big, I know. And there are several new features in new buildings in here. You can have a hideout, an outdoor feeder, and the trap. And then you will get hunter families that will come here, and they are going to hunt prey. There are no wild animals. So we have bears, boars, deer, and wolves. Be careful. The only really nice animal in this list is the deer. Everything else is potentially going to attack you if the carnivores are not able to find any other prey on the map. So if there are no deer around, or if you hunted all of them yourself, be prepared for bear and wolf attacks in your village. So try to keep the village safe. Also try to have some of your people maybe equipped with weapons and have fences wherever possible to protect your village against wild animals. That's this. The Caravaneers also, I think it did not happen this time, but Caravaneers have the chance to come with domesticated animals. So all the animals you usually have to tame, the cows, sheep, and chicken, they will no longer spawn on the map, but you have to buy them from the Caravaneers. And they also have the chance, I think that was already implemented before, to become pregnant, and then you will get more animals that way. But you can no longer run around and tame wild animals on your own. You have to buy them from the caravans. We already talked about the pets, which is lovely. Let's do that again. Oh, that's great. Best feature ever. Let's take a look at one villager, shall we? So look at that. You can now see the villagers have stats. So this villager has 836. The stats represent strength, dexterity, green, and intelligence. And these stats will determine how the villager can defend himself and interact with other people. So stats and dexterity is also a stat that all the animals have. Strength determines, you can see it in the tooltip, increases the attack and life. Dexterity helps with defense and also the attack speed. That's something that the animals have as well. And intelligence is used for relationships. So the higher the intelligence, the better you are in interacting with other people. That's a stat that the animals do not have because, well, they don't interact with you, they just try to eat you. That's actually pretty simple. What else is new? We now, because we have interactions and also the people have different moods. Let's see. Can we look at some of you again? Yeah, you can see here. They have different moods and they also have a relationship. I'm not sure if you can see it somewhere, but people basically like each other or... Oh, the caravan is leaving early? Disruptions to the marketplace. No idea what that was, but okay, they are now gone. That's fine. Maybe because they don't have a place to sleep. You can now see that when people sit down, you will see all of these icons above their head. That's when they interact with each other. And that way they form relationships. And if they don't like each other, they might actually start a fight. Usually that results in one of your people fainting. And then they will be dragged to a bed to recover by their family members. Usually in fights between villagers, no one should die. Maybe that happens. I don't know. One more thing villagers can now do is they can fall in love with each other. So if the relationship between two people gets really, really high, they might go out on a date and then they will ask you for permission to marry. Which, yeah, then they will... I'm not sure if that will actually form a new family or just one family member will move into the other family's clan. I have no idea. That never happened to me, but I know that it can happen now. You can see in the bottom right, there's also some new stuff because we now have temperature. So if you look at the temperature overlay, at the moment it's warm because it's daylight and it's also spring. There's now different temperatures. It's hot, warm, normal, cold, and freezing. And during autumn and winter, it can get actually really, really cold. And if your family members do not have the right clothing, or if they do not have a roof over their heads when they are sleeping and fireplaces inside for them to warm up the room, people can actually die of hypothermia. So make sure that, especially during the first year, you prepare shelter for everyone. Not just beds and kitchens and maybe some walls as we used to, but also invest in a roof and in some fireplaces. Also, fireplaces need firewood to actually produce warmth for your families. So make sure you have enough of that for the winter or else people will freeze. If the people have enough clothing, you can now see over here, they have some equipment. Let's see, can we see that? There's no tooltip for that. That's really unfortunate. But yeah, you can see they have clothing, they have cape, they have shoes. The more equipment they have, or the more clothing they have on, the better their cold resistance is. So they will start to freeze less quickly. Speaking of equipment, you can see there is a durability bar below equipment because equipment will now deteriorate. It will break after some time. That way you always have to make sure that, or you can resupply your people, which means everyone that's making clothing, like the leather workers and the tailors, will now have someone to sell their stuff to because stuff will break regularly. That also goes for tools. You can build, I think you can build them at the blacksmith, or you can buy them from the caravaneers. People can have tools that will increase their efficiency when doing their job. If the tools break, they will not stop working, they will just be less efficient. So you now have something to do for your leather workers. tailors, and blacksmiths because everyone wants tools and clothing. The leather armor made by the leathersmiths is preferred by the hunter family that we just introduced a couple of minutes back. I think everyone else likes regular clothing, so maybe the leather workers still have to sell stuff to the caravanserais. We don't know. Speaking of things that break, walls and roofs. I think it's roofs as well. Or maybe it's just walls. I'm not 100% sure. But walls, for sure, they will break after some time, or they will deteriorate. You will see that because they will get a different texture. And people have to go there and repair them. For the moment, there's no cost in repairing, but that will come at a later stage, and then you will also need construction material to constantly repair all of your structures. Let's go back to the overlays over here. We already talked about the temperature, and we have a few more. You can see that we have soil quality. This is something that's important for your farmers. So if you, let's quickly set up a farmer zone. Let's go to farmland, set that up over here. And then let's go to the adjust priorities thing. And over here under soil, you can see there is a new slider. That will let you determine a percentage of the available soil or farming soil in this area that will be left without anything on it. That way the soil can regenerate and soil quality will increase. Farmers will try to only or to plant their crops on the most fertile soil, so the lowest quality soil will be left untouched. That's something they are going to do automatically. But keep that in mind if you want to regenerate your soil, make your fields bigger so there is enough room for regeneration. The default is 20, I think. Yeah, just keep that in mind. Soil can regenerate, and also if you look over here, you can see that large chunks of trees will, basically drop the soil quality. So keep your farm fields away from the forest. I'm not sure if there's what is it called, fertilizer at the moment. I don't think so, but it's okay. So we have soil quality. Next thing we have is a beauty value. That's also something that got added. It does not affect things at the moment too much, so you can make beautiful surroundings. So you can see the it's between outstanding, beautiful, average, and ugly. You have decorations. I think you can see some of the things say in the tooltip that they are decorative, and if you add them, the decorative value will increase. For the Villeins, that's not so important, but in one of the next updates, the nobles will be introduced and they will care about decoration. So if you want to prepare for that, use decorative items. And I think that's almost it. There's just one more overlay that's really, really nice, and that is the market price list over here. You can now see what everything costs, which is amazing. So no longer do you need to guess what people are paying for stuff, or seize an item and sell it in your own warehouse just to to look at what the market price is in the warehouse book. So previously what you needed to do was you need to sell for example, one clothing, and then set it to market price, and then you can see it's 1 silver and 80 copper. That's no longer needed. You can just go to the market price list, and here you can see everything. Let's go equipment, clothing, 1 silver, 80 copper. Perfect. This little square over here indicates the change. So a yellow square means no change compared to yesterday. Green means prices goes down, red means prices go up, or vice versa. I have no idea. You will figure that out. Yeah, you have everything that's available. That's not everything you have in your village, but that's everything that you can do, which means you can also sneak peek what items there are available. Look at that. For example, you have plate armor that costs 1 gold and 26 silver. No idea who needs that yet, but it's available. You can also see you can sell bears to the butcher, can sell boar to the butcher, can sell deer, wolf, so everything is available. And that's what they cost if you want to buy them, the animals from the caravaneers. Okay, there are also a ton of bug fixes, more improvements, visual improvements, lots of new stuff. Figure it out. For example, you can see wait a second, there's rain. Look at that. It's raining, summer rain, and also the rain will stop over here because there's a roof on top of that. So these effects will stop whenever there's a roof, so you can clearly see what is safe and what not. I hope you enjoyed this little introduction, and if you haven't grabbed the game yet, make sure you do that. It was amazing before, but with the world update, it's great. I love it. We will start a new Let's Play series tomorrow, I think. Maybe if I have time. There's some real life stuff going on this weekend. So maybe I'm a bit late on that one, but we will potentially start over from scratch because our current game is in the middle of winter and we have no roofs anywhere. So potentially during the first episode, everyone will die of hypothermia. So we will start over so that you can see the new start, because the starting conditions also changed dramatically. That's basically a new start where I only built the inn, so everything you see here was already there, including the beer. And all of these tons of construction materials, plus all of that money. So it changed a lot, and I definitely want to show you that. So until then, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, like the video, that helps me out a lot. Also subscribe to the channel if you want to see more of that. That also helps me out a lot. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.